Hello, this is Paul Cheney, and we're back with more on using border radiuses. Now, these are easy to go overboard on. Sometimes the simpler, the cleaner, the more refined your look is. I've got a really simple rounded here on my button, but I could make these into lots of different shapes. So let's come back to our CSS and let's explore some of the different options here with border radius. If you have a value and you add a second value, then it goes top, right, bottom, left. So it sort of repeats in a circle like that. If you put a slash between it, then it does, notice it's not a complete circle now. Let me actually switch those two values. I'll make it a little more extreme for you. So there we're getting a kind of a half circle on the top and bottom. So the first value represents the top curve. So where it starts and ends here is 50 pixels. And the y-axis is the second value. So if we increase this to, say, 40, it should almost touch at the middle. In fact, that's too much. Let's try 20. So they're almost touching there at the middle. So we could do a border radius like that. Now another thing we could do, instead of just using border radius, is we could do border dash top dash left dash radius and throw 15 pixels at that. So now we're specifying one of the corners to put a radius on. So if that was your fancy, there you go. If we wanted just the two top ones, we simply repeat that. And we change the left to the right. And now we're going to get sort of a flat on the bottom, rounded on the top look. Now, one more thing we could do. We could go ahead and specify a height of, say, 40 and a width of 40. Take these off for a second. Save it. And it doesn't quite work because we need to turn this into a display as a block. So it actually obeys the height and width rules. Oh. If I could type correctly. There we go. So height 40, width 40. There we go. So now there's a square box. Okay. Interesting thing about this one is if we now do a border dash radius, then we do half of that value because the radius, remember, is from the center out. We should be able to turn those into perfect circles. And then we could use some padding to slide that down, and the word top would be in the middle of that circle and we'd have a little round dot to take us to the top. So there we have lots of different options for rounding corners that you may find useful. Remember, don't go overboard. Kind of keep it simple and clean.